Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. Today we're going to take on a challenge. It's going to take us all the way up to Christmas. So hopefully, if you get on board, you can get yourself a nice, lovely Christmas gift for your family, for someone you love, as a gift, whatever, random giveaway, whatever you would like to do. So it's called Be My Neighbor by Moda. And it's Moda Fabrics. Well, that's who sponsored this creation. I believe it's a Pat Sloan block of the month or block sew along. So this is block number 1 that we're going to be doing here today. And I'll show you what it looks like. If I can get my, there we go. That's block number 1. Okay, right there, super cute little house and a big tree. And then here is the major layout right there. That's the first one right here. And there's 16 blocks in total. So some days we're going to have to, or some Fridays, we're going to have to double up, but that's okay. And I'm making 2 of these, one for each of my sisters. So one for Lisa and one for Elizabeth, okay? So the only thing I'm going to change is the color of the houses as I'm going along. Other than that, I'm going to try and keep some of the colors the same. I've got the same background and some of the colors for the tree as well are replicated. So what we're going to start off here is just finishing off our tree section. It's really quite easy. Let me just get there. Okay. Their lovely little paperwork. Okay. And when it comes to putting the rest of the tree top together here, you can see I have some already there put together. Just because it's 5, you have to do 5 of the same. So once you have your 6.5-inch strip by 2 inches, you're going to take your little piece, and of course on the back of all your backgrounds, you're going to draw a diagonal line from edge to edge or corner to corner, so you can properly place those on your green fabric. So to make a tree top, you kind of want to go in the V. So you want to make sure your line is going up in this direction, and then your line is going down in this direction. So pretty much both of them should be going up just like this. Okay, so you can either pin it or just sew. And I just trimmed off the extra. It was too tiny to really keep for anything else. I mean, you can put it in your scrap bin if you like, but you know. Okay, line that up. And you just do that on the tree. It's the same for the top of the roof. When it comes to this part right here, the top of the part of the roof, hopefully Munch can be able to get in right in there. It's the same principle as we're doing with the trees, okay? So you want to do the same thing right there, okay? And that's why this one is set up right there. So let's finish off our tree part here. And then for our very top of our tree, you want to use your 3.5 by 6.5-inch square. And then you got your 3.5 by 3.5, and you want to do the same thing. You want to put one in one corner, and then you're going to sew first from side to side, or corner to corner here, and then you're going to cut off this extra bit, and then once this gets open and flipped and pressed, you line up the next one, and then you get a nice little precise top to your tree, okay? So we can line a couple of these up to get underneath the machine and so on, okay? So let's do one of our tree bits here, okay? And try and sew right next to the line, if not on the line. Make sure we got our fabric lined up where it needs to be, right in the corner. Like I said, if you have to put a pin in, then go ahead and put a pin. As long as it stays where it needs to go. And then you just trim off those little extra bits. Okay. And then when it comes to the top part of our tree here, we want to make sure we're sewing in the right direction, coming up on the angle. So this one comes here, so we make a nice little green triangle. And because I know we can get another half square triangle out of this, I just move it over foot length and a little bit, and then just sew on down. And then I just cut that off. Okay, so let's trim these. And we're going to want to give that a press. And same with this one. Right here, and then we'll give those a press. Those just go to the bin. Okay, but this one we're going to keep because that's a HST. Oh, let's finish off here. Our little top of our roof. And this is another one you can kind of sneak a little half square triangle out of. It may only be about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches when you square it up, but trust me, you keep collecting them, they're going to make something awesome. Okay, all right, now we got those going in the correct direction. That one, and of course our little one for the tree, and then we need to press this. So let's press these three right now. Okay. And I have one block already done, ready to go. Like I said, I'm making 2, so I'm going to have one done, and then we'll work on one together. And I can't wait to see anybody's blocks as they want to come and sew along with me. And this was actually a suggestion by one of our Australian fans, so thank you, Melanie. And because no one has done a tutorial on this. It's just a lot of written instructions, no actual video tutorial on how to put this. And because it's free, well, we can do that. Okay. And we promise to share any of the links for the pattern and everything else in the Show More section. So just look there, please, before you make any comments about where the pattern is or anything else like that. We try and provide you with as much information as we can. Oop. I lost my thread. Lost my thread, said Fred. There we go. All right, back up here. Having a little bit of a pain over there? What's going on? And it's essential that those overlap at the top there, okay? Because that gives that nice little peak to the tip of your tree. Foot length over and try and sew down another. There we go, much better. Always works better when things aren't hindering you in the process, that's for sure. Okay, just trim that off, keep those off to the side for another old project, and then we have a nice pristine top, nice point for the top of our tree. All right, so let's give that a little press, and then we finish putting our whole big tree together. And I've done this in a very scrappy fashion. Not all my trees are going to look the same. They're not always going to have the same color to them. It's my trees, and I'm going to do them my way. Be creative. If all you have is one color green, then go ahead. If you don't like the mixed color green, that's completely up to you. For the houses and all the rest of the stuff, I'm going to try and bust my scraps to build something really nice. And of course the fabric means something because I've usually made something else with it previously, and it's nice to share it. And hopefully, because they won't actually get it for Christmas because I'll barely finish it the week before. But I will do my very best to get it to them as soon as I can around Christmas. And then we're just going to sew the top on now. And then we sew the bottom on, which is just 2 big rectangles, and then your tree trunk, whatever color you decide to use for your tree trunk. Okay. So there's our nice big tree there, and then we're going to put our little tree trunk on. And those strips are the 8 by 3, and that middle strip is 8 by 1.5. And of course you could have chose any sort of fabric for the tree trunk. Could be just a solid brown, could be something that represents looks like a tree or anything like that. There we go, isn't that cute? Beautiful. We'll just give that quick little press, and then we'll put our house together. Okay. Very nice. Super cute. Okay, we only just got a few bits to do for the house. So we got our roof done there, so let's get our chimney and our backgrounds all put together. You put the smaller sides on either outside of the chimney stack, and the bigger rectangular square goes right in the center. I'm just going to line that up right in the center. So one of those on either side. There we go. And then chimney stack here. And of course, you can choose all sorts of different colors. You can have different colors for your chimney stack than you can want for the rooftop. You can mix and match, do whatever you like. Okay, and then we have our top, which is part of our background that caps off that. So let's do that. Did I not do that the right piece? Is that 12 and a half? It's 12 and a half, but what did I do to these guys? Seems like 13. Those are supposed to be 2 and a half. Oh, I think these guys were 2 3/4. Whoopsies. All right, seam ripper. I was like, wait a second, we got ourselves like an extra half an inch here going here. What's going on? And of course, 1/4 on each one. That makes sense because they're measuring out at 2 3/4, not 2 1/2. So, whoops, seam ripper, you're my best friend. Seam ripper, break to the very end. That's okay, no big deal. Easy fix, easy fix. Let's trim that off a smidge. Okay. Go right there is 1/4. There. Put my hand away. Okay, so I'm going to trim that off, put that back on here, and then do the same to the other side. And some things like that just happen. You saw measurement was 2 1/2, but you cut 2 3/4. Whatever, that's okay. You know what you did wrong, and then you just got to keep going on and figure out what you did wrong. Okay. I was like, okay, I knew the background pieces were the same because I cut them for the same for the first block, so I knew those were not incorrect. So if anything, I knew it was my chimneys, my chimney stacks. And it's just 1/4 that we needed off because we had it at 2 3/4 instead of 2 1/2. Okay, perfect. There we go, easy fix, no problem, back on track. No worries, no panicking. All right, now we get to put our top on, the top of the background. Let's give this a little press first. Try and press towards the dark whenever you can. I've gotten a lot of slack from people in the past about not pressing. You know what, you do you and I'll do me, and if I don't press, that's mine. But you go ahead and press. Normally I do try and press. Okay, and when you want to line these up, you want to make sure your chimney stacks are on the top of where those peaks come together, okay? Just because I don't press in the video doesn't mean, you shouldn't press. So, let's just think about it. All right, there we go, chimney. Together, and now we get to put our top part on. Okay, there, put a little pin at one section, a little pin at the other. So I'm going to try and keep things nicely lined up. And we'll give that a little press before we put our main house together. I've already got one little window set done, so it shouldn't take too long. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's give that a little press. Okay. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, and then we get to put on one of our little housey bits. Okay. And we'll put our other one together here with our window. We got one window set here with the middle of the house and a side of the house. And now we're going to put our other little window set together here and then the other side of the house. Okay. And you can mix and match your colors if you want. I mean, have your windowsills a little bit different. You can have different colored windows. I kept the windows the same, actually, for both projects. Or for both these two blocks. I thought it kind of looked like a really nice curtain fabric. That little texture on the brown reminds me, oh, that'd be some nice curtains. So, and there we go. There's our two little windows. And then we're just going to add one of our side pieces on. And I have a mix of fabrics in here. I've got some flannel and some cottons. So the flannels have all been pre-washed. Okay, and there's one of our windows and the side of the house. We'll attach that together. Look at our 4 little windows. Now we'll put the top and the bottom of our pretty little house together. Okay, just like that. Here, we can sew this. Oops. Pop a pin in there if you like. It should measure approximately 18.5 by 18.5 when finished. That's a nice good start. The quilt project itself, I believe, is 63 by 70 something. It does say it on the first 3 pages. Let's give this a little press right here. And this a little press right here. Okay. And we can put the rest of our little house together. Okay. Just like this, and just like that. And then we got our little tree stack. But that actually goes on the other side. But I mean, you could totally mix and match it if you had a different plan. You know, say the patterns are there for you to adjust any way you like. And I will show you the other block as soon as we finish this one. Just trying to tuck my dark seams in the correct direction as it's sewing. Okay, here, and then here. Sometimes with some fabrics you just want to pin it from corner to corner or from edge to edge. That will be our little house done. And then we just sew the 2 together. Well, I wouldn't even say it's a little house. That kind of almost looks like a schoolhouse. Maybe. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say. I guess it can be up to your interpretation. Okay. So there's our beautiful house, tree house, schoolhouse, any kind of house. Okay, press that. Press this. Line up on this side, do some pinning down, put a few in there just to make sure. Okay. Here, here, okay, flip it, just line it up the best you can. Okay, and sew on down. And then this is what the other block looks like. Okay, so you can see that as I finish this one. Has a little bit of some plaid in there, which I made for the top of this one. And it has one more extra fabric of this because I didn't have enough of the hedgehog. So it was just that tiny little bit. But I like the colors I've chosen so far. And some will carry some Christmassy fabrics and some won't. We'll see. We'll see how we're going along. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to bust my stash, my scrappy bits, what I have here to make this beautiful project times 2. Okay. And if you want, you can download all the blocks. There's 16 of them. And you can get a jump start. Okay. Little press where they join together. And I've got 2 of block number 1 of Will You Be My Neighbor, or Be My Neighbor. There we go. Look at that. Make a lovely pillow just on its own, you know? Why not? So that is the weekend project. Like I said, we'll put all the links and the information to this Be My Neighbor project in the Show More section, and you can come and cut and play with us until Christmas. You maybe even want to do it just a few blocks, make yourself a nice wall hanging for a couple people, or do them all and separate it into a few gifts. You totally could. This would make a nice good size to a side of a bag. Put a couple little background more pieces here, and you got yourself a nice tote. I think it would be lovely. So thank you everybody for watching, liking, and subscribing. We greatly appreciate you here at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we will see you very, very soon. We're going to start a brand new project come Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, where we're live streaming. We're going to work on this beautiful free pattern called Charmed, and you can get a link to the pattern if you come and hang out with us. All right, so we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification button. We don't want you missing a thing. Take care. See you soon.